Good evening. Tonight I'll be presenting my oral presentation on the following question. Some plays make use of an identified narrator or chorus, while others force us to make unfiltered meaning of events. How has the presence or absence of such a commentator helped or hindered you in finding meaning in at least two of the plays you have studied? So, narrators or a chorus are commonly used in storytelling both today and in ancient Greek times. And both Oedipus Rex and A View from a Bridge uses to narrate certain parts of the play. Miller by using his narrator Alfieri, and Sophocles by using the chorus in Oedipus in similar ways that Alfieri is used in A View from the Bridge. So a chorus or a narrative are used in both plays for three main effects. First, to give the audience a good background or a quick explanation of events. Second, to build dramatic tension. And third, to give the audience a character they can identify with. My first idea is that both Alfieri and the chorus in both Alfieri in A View from the Bridge and the chorus in Oedipus are used by the authors to condense the play and explain events that are happening rather than acting them out and taking them away from the main plot. So Sophocles uses the chorus to explain the situation in Thebes at the start of the play, just as Alfieri gives some backstory at the start of A View from the Bridge. Now, the use here helps the audience in the way of getting to know the characters or the setting or the how events transpire throughout the play. This would have been less important back in ancient Greek times, as most of the plays that were acted were known stories by everybody in the ancient Greeks, but in modern times it's more helpful as not everybody knows these ancient Greek tragedies or these new plays that they're going to see. Sophocles also uses the chorus to explain Oedipus's horrific mutilation of his eyes rather than act it out. This sort of stuff is still relevant today, as it's not really viable on a set to act out really graphic or detailed scenes. Yeah, and so the use of the chorus in both plays helps sort of smooth the whole play out and keep the storyline in just one timeline, rather than jumping from present to past and such in the action, where the audience could easily get lost. My second idea being that chorus is used in both plays to help create dramatic tension. So in Greek theatre, the audience most of the audience already knew the story beforehand. However, in A View from a Bridge, it's not always that likely that the audience knows how the events are going to transpire, such as our group, who had little to no background in the play before we went and watched it. So Alfieri's prologue helps us set the scene very well, and also describes some of the tension by naming Eddie and describing him as a nice guy, and then describing the setting and how the community feels about the people who betray illegal immigrants. Now, this was a bit foreshadowing, as a character was mentioned, and then sort of the fate or the ways in which they could go wrong by betraying the community that they live in. And so the conversation between Oedipus and the chorus and Alfieri and Eddie also creates tensions in ways specific to each play. So when Eddie first enters Alfieri's office and tells him that Rodolfo is not right and he wants to do something about it, the audience is already inclined to think that Eddie might take some drastic measures to get rid of Rodolfo so he doesn't take Catherine. And this is further solidified by Alfieri's response, saying that there's only really one way to remove Rodolfo, which is to call the authorities on him and get him expelled from America. And this foreshadowing sort of creates a lot of tension, as we're not sure if Eddie's morals or his ties to the community will hold him back in alerting the authorities to Rodolfo. Also in Oedipus Rex, the chorus asking Oedipus why the oracle didn't tell him the name of the killer also creates some tension, as the audience knows beforehand that Oedipus is the killer, and they know that if the chorus asking for Oedipus to send for Tiresias, this will end up in more questions being asked and Oedipus being outed more. And yeah, and also in addition to this, the conversations between both Oedipus and the chorus and Alfieri and the characters such as Eddie or Marco help drive the plot more and create a tension again that the Greek tragedies very much rely on. So as well as creating tension in the play, the conversation between Oedipus and the chorus moves the play along, such as I said before. When the oracle does not name the killer, the chorus asks for Tiresias to be called, and Tiresias again adds to the play and creates more tension towards how people are feeling. Alfieri's conversation with Marco also emphasizes emphasizes some of the tension that's created, as when Marco is bailed out of prison, he immediately says to Alfieri that he wants to kill Eddie, and yeah, this leaves this really obvious foreshadowing, but it leaves the audience wondering what will now transpire between Marco and Eddie. Will Eddie attack Marco, or will Marco attack Eddie, and will someone be killed in the ensuing fight, or whatever might happen? My third idea was that the use of the chorus and narrator better help the audience to understand the play. And in Greek times, the chorus would have been perhaps more relatable to the audience who were more of a working class. So it felt with the joint of the group, because the people were more the working class and not high class leaders or oracles or such. And a big part of the ancient Greek theatre audience was actually families with children, as these plays were often acted out in big festivals and such. And so the chorus could also help the little children to better understand what was transpiring during the play. So the majority of the audience in the ancient Greek theatres would have already have known the story, so perhaps would have not have been as interested as, say, someone who hadn't seen it before. So using the chorus to show how using the chorus would have attracted the attention of the audience more than just the actual action taking place, as it was something they hadn't experienced before and would capture their attention. And it also allowed the playwrights, Sophocles or any of the ancient Greek players, to add elements and themes to their play that would otherwise be difficult to add just in normal action. In the same regard, Alfieri is a sort of higher class working man. He's a lawyer, but he also comes from humble origins in Italy. But so the main, and his role would perhaps resonate with more educated people who seem to watch plays these days. From what I know, the main demographic of people who watch plays these days are middle-aged to older people who are more educated and high school students. So this again is more educated status and yeah, would resonate more with people like him, like them. Alfieri is also really clear with his thinking, and in the controlled environment of his narration, it's easier to understand what he's thinking and what he's trying to say, and the themes come across easier than perhaps just in the action, which could get which muddled me up a bit when I was watching it. Also, it helps that Alfieri is just a general likable character without any major flaws or problems with him. And so throughout the narration of the play, I felt it helped me understand the play a lot better, as it gave me a clear way to see what was happening and understand some of the themes, as the action in the play can be a bit confusing. So to conclude, as both of the plays had an identified narrator or chorus, it was easier for me to... I found that the commentator helped me in finding meanings in the play, and also just tied everything together a lot better than without or such. Thank you.